If you're a good looking ass dude right now and you're listening and you're not a relationship person, but you have multiple casually sexual relationships, just drop us a line at the Guns Blazin Twitter or Facebook or Instagram. We're really curious. Like, what drives you? Like, why do you want to deal with that? I'll see guys like now. I got friends, they got like 4, 5, 6, 7 chicks on a rotation or some shit. I'm just like, why would you ever want to deal with that?
That's a lot.
Even casually, that's a lot of just bullshit. Like, I have no mental capacity for that. I want to be like half the time when I'm single, most of the time, I just want to be by myself anyway. That's one of the reasons I'm single.
Juggling 7, that's a lot of texting, first of all. I mean, that's a lot of texting.
We got to find out some super player. Some dude that just can't get enough of a vagina in his life. And let's pick his brain. Like, what drives you? Why do you need that much action? What happened to you as a kid?
We should. Yeah.
Like, why can't a couple of casual relationships just be okay? Why do you need 19 different casual relationships that you might cycle through in a 2-month period or whatever?
It would be great to dissect their like history, what their parents' relationship was like, all this shit.
If you're a good looking ass dude right now and you're listening and you're not a relationship person, but you have multiple casually sexual relationships, just drop us a line at the Guns Blazin Twitter or Facebook or Instagram, because we're really curious. Like, what drives you? Like, why do you want to deal with that?
Yeah, I want to know. I mean, it's almost like if you're really, really talented, like say you're Patrick Mahomes, but you wanted to play for a different team every season, like you were top tier because obviously
week. Not even season, every week.
Yeah, every week. Let me play for a different NFL team because I just can't settle on just one. You know what I mean? It's like that. Like, you're that good at getting women, you're that good looking and all that, you just settle in with one who's awesome as fuck.
Or at least a three casually that, maybe over a month period you hang out with. I know one dude specifically. I one time watched this dude after a show. I sat back, bro, and me and the other opener, we were amazed. Like, we were flabbergasted because we were hanging out at the bar afterwards. And we watched probably 15 groups of women, all that were, they're all sitting there around waiting for him to come down to hang out. We weren't even like comedians. We were like in the information booth at the mall, me and the other opener.
Right.
Like, the girls were coming up to us. Do you know where so-and-so is? And we're just like, I'm handing out pamphlets of information and fun facts you should know. Like, no. They're like, you guys are funny. Also, do you guys know where so-and-so is? We're like, no, we don't know. And like, literally, he came down 3 different times, bro. And he hooked up with at least 3 different chicks in the evening before 1 a.m.
Dude, that's nuts.
And we were sitting there just like, this is insanity. Because even the most famous people I've ever seen, I'd never seen it where I saw that many people waiting for him. And I don't give a fuck if I become the Russell Peters, Gabriel Iglesias, and Joe Coy all wrapped up into one famous. That would never. And then my lady decided that I was too famous and she didn't want to be with me no more because of my fame and money and fortune. Okay, then I still, no matter what, could be in that same position. It would never happen. Like the way I watched Homeboy unfold.
We had a friend here, not a famous comedian at all, but had magic. I mean, I used to just call it magic. There was no other way to explain it. This power over women. And I saw him one time.
I know exactly what you're talking about.
Yes, you do. But he had 2 girls show up to his show and had promised to go out with each of them afterward. And when they showed up, he was like, oh shit, man. And, I forgot I'd asked her out or whatever. He was lying. He knew he'd asked them both there. And our buddy Bowers was like, well, do you want us to like distract this one and get it so you can go, just tell us which one to distract and get out of the way so you can go out with the other one. And he's like, oh, no, let's just go get some sushi and we'll handle it. Both girls went, and both girls knew that they each were promised a date with him after the show. Both girls sat next to each other on each side of him and fought and competed the entire dinner and drink sesh for his attention to see who he would want to take out.
Game show.
I mean, it was the most demoralizing thing I've ever seen in my life. I was like, what are these girls doing? But he had that kind of power, and they were both super hot girls. He always had super hot girls. He would humiliate them on purpose like that. And then it would take them from their being a 9 or a 10 down to like an unconfident 6. He was such a manipulator. He knew exactly how to strip them of what powers they're used to having.
I watched him do it. I watched this thing do. The first time I went out when I moved to Indianapolis in 2015, October, we go to a bar. It was me and him and some other girl. And some girl that he owed money to for some like serious tickets or something.
Yeah.
Because we're sitting there and she made a couple of jokes. He's like, I'll get you that. Don't worry. And then while we're there with her, he's doing the nagging thing to the waitress. And I was like so uncomfortable, bro. I'm like, what the fuck? This guy has problems, bro.
Oh,
he's
big
making
problems.
these women feel like trash. And I kept on apologizing to the waitress. I'm like, I'm so sorry. Like, I don't know what the fuck's going on here. And I was but
I guarantee you, by the time he was done, that waitress wanted the fucking. I guarantee it. It was never fell. He would humiliate girls in front, and like you said, you'd be like so uncomfortable. And by the time the night was about over, that girl would go home with him, and you're like, what the fuck? Like he should be a cult leader. Like he has the same shit that cult leaders have, I think.
And because he also has another thing where he'll get money from people thinking that it's a safe investment.
Yeah.
When it was never a safe investment.
Bro,
Bro, that guy almost got clipped in Indiana. Like he fucked with some wrong people, and I think people got talked out of like knocking that kid off.
He moved away to another state for a while because of that. Like he was afraid those dudes were going to catch up to him.
That $10,000 is a lot of money in the street, bro.
It would be a great documentary to do on him because you could go to so many comedians. So many comedians know him. So many comedians have a crazy story about either the time they kicked his ass or he stole money from them or just something awesome happened. Sometimes you had a good time with him because, you know, he made shit happen.
Yeah, but it's still good fun to party with.
Yeah, like so many people have stories that are incredible to listen to about him, whether they're good or bad. Like it would almost make a good documentary. We'd have to change the name, like give him a fake name.
What the fuck if we say his name, bro? Fuck him. Who cares? I guess we don't want to give him publicity, good or bad. I guess.
Yeah, that's what it is. You don't want him to get famous off of it because he's a piece of shit.
It's always wild, the motivation. If you're a straight up OG player, like I would love to hear what motivates you. Like, why do that? You know, that would be really interesting to talk about.
It would. Like what?
I'll never get it.
What do you have inside that has to be satisfied by getting over on people like that? I don't get it.
Yeah.
I don't get it.
I don't either.
If he could use those powers for good, just like the guy from Catch Me If You Can. People like that, if they could use their powers for good, do you know how much they could accomplish in life? Jesus Christ, they'd all be multimillionaires.
I had a buddy I told you about. He's a great looking dude and he had a great job and he had money and he bought a dope condo in Arizona and he lived in this high rise. And I walk in, the place is just decorated, just decked out, looking sweet. I look over on the counter and there's a plate. And it's earrings and like girl watches and fucking hair thingies and whatever. And I go, what's this? He goes, lost and found. This motherfucker had a lost and found at his house, bro.
Wow.
And I was like, what? He goes, yeah, that way it sets the tone. It sets the precedent. This is what you're dealing with as a woman. Like, you're not the only one. I have a lost and found. There is very clear the connection of what we are. Until we aren't, this is what we are. And if you lose something, come on over and you can rummage through and find it.
Well, I guess at least he's being honest up front.
Again, yes. That's that. Again, at least there's honesty there. He's not leading people on.
Right.
But then again, you're like, wow, that is a maniac move.
Yeah, that's pretty
lost and found, bro. Oh.
It's a pretty douchey move to put it on display.
I know. How does that not like? You know what does? I don't know. I think there's a certain type of woman how they react to that, right? Like some would react to that like, "Fuck this guy, I'll show him. He's gonna be my little bitch." Or some girls are like, "Fuck this guy, I ain't showing him nothing." You know, like,
right? Girls have it tough to where if they want to just play around on a given night, then they get that slut shamed or whatever. Like, also, there's nothing wrong with the girl seeing that and be like, thinking it's funny and be like, you know what? Fuck it. We're just here to have this tonight. That's it. Who cares?
Yeah. At least I know that if I do lose something here, he's not going to hide it.
He's not going to take it to the pawn shop and sell it.